Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to make a video. I've been just kind of a short little blurb video. I'm not going to do any editing or anything. I'm just going to make a few comments about the issue of playing cover songs, I guess in general, but in particular on YouTube. And I don't mean to make it sound like this ominous thing, but I've been playing some cover songs lately, and they all come up as copyright claims. I haven't had any nasty emails or anything silenced, and my channel's not monetized. And I guess if it came down to it, I'm not really trying to monetize them, but I did get those copyright ID claims. But for so long, I'd kind of shied away from playing anything that resembled a cover because people make it sound like it's this ominous thing. Oh my God, And I guess it is if you have millions of subscribers and you're making your living off that. Maybe that's the case. But I finally decided I can't play music if I can't play songs. And think about that. I mean, backing tracks are great, but they're only going to take you so far. That Now You Shred, that's my favorite backing track site. And he's got some rockers, and he'll like evoke the gist of those great jams of all kinds of eras, but he's got a lot of good ones. But backing tracks only take you so far if you can't really play a song in its sort of wholeness. So the last few weeks I've decided to hell with it, and I'm playing some cover songs. I did a memory of Elizabeth Reed. I hope you'll watch that one. I spent some time on that, getting the two guitars kind of down and recording them and sort of syncing them up was sort of a big deal. And I also interspersed some footage from the Rose Hill Cemetery where the Allman Brothers are buried. I did Jessica. I've done some acoustic ones, Sweet Melissa. I did a Paul Simon song, a Jim Croce song, and they all came up. They all hit right away. Copyright claim. And I don't know if it's the playing or the title. I feel like you've kind of got to use some version of the title in the video description, or people wouldn't know what you were doing. And I don't sing them, so I might just play like America by Paul Simon, just the chords. And the chords themselves, there's a kind of beauty to just hearing those great Paul Simon chord progressions. I think it's, in a way, kind of educational and instructive, as well as just nice. The guitar sensibility in the chording of that was so nice. It's just nice to hear the acoustic guitars. But I finally decided I can't play music without playing songs. So I've been doing this for about a year. And I have my own songs. I'm proud of my own songs. But, I know a lot of songs. And, somebody in one of my videos made the comment, today you wonder if you'd see people like Linda Ronstadt, Joe Cocker, Tom Jones, even Rod Stewart used to do a lot of covers. Now, Rod Stewart had some great iconic songs that he himself penned, but he also did a lot of great covers. And you wonder if you'd see those song stylists today, like Willie Nelson. There's so many examples of people that did other people's songs. But anyway, I just finally decided, I can't really try to show what I can do. I don't know if I'm any good or not, but I can't really play as well as I would like, personally, if I can't play songs. And that's just such a basic thing of being a musician. So I finally, a couple of weeks ago, I decided, it's fall. I've been doing through this pandemic. I've been doing these uploads, and I finally said, "The hell with it! I'm going to play some songs that I grew up with. They're part of my DNA almost, and I bet a lot of yours too." And I guess if YouTube takes my channel down, I'll just figure, well, it didn't work, and oh well. But I hope they don't. But I feel like I can't really develop the channel and my music and so on if I can't play covers. If I can't play songs. I don't like the word covers, but I guess that's what they are. But if I can't play songs, these are songs of a people. They're songs of a generation. What was it? Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Let me write the songs of a nation, and I care not who writes its laws." Songs are the music of the people. And so I'm not really trying to get into the law really. And by the way, I don't think the YouTube policies about copyright, and I'm not criticizing YouTube. They're free. Pretty hard to beat free. You know, some of these people with 2 million, 3 million subscribers, and they're uploading all that for free. You know, that's a pretty good price. So I'm not cutting down YouTube, but I don't think all these copyright laws people are always talking about really are the law. I think it's corporate policies, and YouTube is I think part of Google, right? So I don't necessarily think it's the law. I'm pretty sure there's something called compulsory license. There used to be. I've actually been around copyright in my own little way since I was a teenager, and I've copywritten songs, and I used to even help people copyright songs a little bit, and some old man or something, I would help him copyright a song. So I've been around it since before the digital copyright stuff came along, but it used to always be they couldn't, you didn't have to ask permission to sing a song or something or play a song. And I always think it's kind of murky. Lawyers never write clear. And that's why you never can count on anything they say. Same with politicians. It's always, the law is always kind of vague, and it'll say whatever they want it to say at any given time. But you didn't used to have to get permission from people to do their song. The problem was if you marketed it or made any money off it, then that was the issue. But I don't know. I'm not here to talk about the law. And it's not about the law, damn it. It's not about the law. It's about music. I don't give a shit about the law. I give a shit about music. Laws come and go, and half the time they're made by a bunch of greedy bastards and people that are interested in their own careers or who paid them recently. So you can't go by law. If you care about music, you can't go by laws. I mean, they're good laws. I'm not trying to sound like we don't need laws, but a lot of those laws are they're not really worth the paper they're printed on. If you really look at the copyright on some of those laws, they're so confusing, and some of those old songs have been in and out of so many different versions of rights and copyright holders that you can't follow it. It's like a maze, But I just decided to hell with it. I am going to play my songs. Now, the other day I did a video on Bobby Whitlock and All Things Must Pass, and if you followed that. But in that video, it was kind of late. I know a lot of people watch that video. Actually, a lot of people watch it. For my relative to what I usually get. But towards the end of the video, I don't know if everybody watched it, but I held up this book, and I wanted to do it again. This is a book that is a precious book to me now. It's one of those books that laid around our house when I was a kid. I didn't pay much attention to it, but somehow I ended up with it all these years later. It's a book that was published in 1974. It's all beat up. Great songs of the 60s. It's got 64 songs in it. And When I Die, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, California Dreamin', The Mamas and the Papas. I'm just Puff the Magic Dragon, Something by the Beatles. It's got Beatles songs in it. The Beatles are so carefully controlled now. Superstar by Leon Russell. I mean, it's got every song in here is a classic. Every song in here is an all-time classic. And this is volume 2. And this is the old piano, vocal, guitar, sheet music type stuff. Let me ask you something. Why would you buy this book today if you can't play any songs in it? Why would they sell a book like this if you can't play songs? Music is songs. So I think when we're so afraid of playing songs, we're going to hurt music. We're going to hurt music because you can't develop, and music is really part of language. It's part of art. It's part of a whole range of wonderful things. But the song is kind of the centerpiece of what music itself even is. And even if it's an instrumental or some kind of orchestral composition or something, there's still some song sensibility in it if you think about it. So I've been thinking about it, and I finally said, the hell with it. If they I don't think they will, but I hope not. But it could be. This issue of playing covers is a weird one. The other thing I wanted to say about it is there's so many covers on YouTube, and you wonder, well, if it's such this ominous thing, you can't play anybody else's songs. Why are you just see, I mean, I see everything from like, some little kid in a high chair singing, some song to cover bands that are just amazing. I saw this cover band. I think they're out of Russia, but they do Chicago songs like Dialogue and Saturday in the Park. I mean, they do them as good as Chicago. I mean, they're great. I mean, they are like an excellent cover band. They're on YouTube. So I don't even know how they figure it out or what the deal is. But I just decided, I'm going to play songs, I'm never sure about this channel anyway. It's been an outlet for me during the quarantine. But if I can't play songs, then I really can't take what I want to do to where I think it should be. So I'm going to play songs, and I'm not going to sing. I kind of decided I do sing. I sing in bars or whatever, but I don't really feel like this YouTube channel, me and a cell phone singing, is really going to be that effective. So, but anyway, I'm going to play. I'll just finish with this. I had an uncle who passed away, unfortunately, a few years ago in his late 80s. But that man played the saxophone, and he was a great saxophone player. He wasn't a fancy saxophone player like Kenny G or, all these noodling players. There's nothing wrong with that. But he was a very musical player. But what made him such a good musician was he knew so many songs. And his era was the 30s, the 40s, and the 50s. And that guy, he knew stuff like Harbor Lights, Melancholy Baby, Sentimental Journey. I mean, Canadian Sunset, any of those old songs like that. And he always played with an accordion. But his musicianship was song-based. And, my mom was like that. And I had an uncle that was a great... Playing songs is what music is all about. And I worry sometimes that we're losing the focus on songs. And part of it, I don't know, there might be a lot of reasons for it. You could point to a lot of things, cell phones, these little devil phones, the computer. There are a lot of reasons. But if we can't play songs, music doesn't make enough sense by itself. Even instrumentals are songs. And music will stop making sense in the whole of our consciousness if we can't play songs that have some kind of coherent point to them. And I'm 60 years old, and I was fortunate, as far as I'm concerned. The older I get, the more I realize, man, I was raised around some of the most awesome music ever. And there are a lot of great ages have music, but the 60s and 70s had some great music, and it was music of that time. And I love it so much, but we need to be able to play songs. And I've sort of decided that I'm going to play songs. And I don't know if my channel gets taken down, I guess, oh well. I sort of don't think that. The one final thing I wanted to say is when I think about these issues, I think of a guy like Muddy Waters. Now, and how Muddy Waters might be different. His life might have been different today. Muddy Waters was born in 1913. I don't know that much about his backstory, but he was born in 1913, so he was making music in the 40s and the 50s. He kind of took blues and made it electric, they always say. And, music was very segregated in his time. Although if you watch that little video I did on Levon Helm's, he was very influential in a lot of the white rock and roll that people like Levon Helm, and I guess that might even include people like Elvis or whatever, in the 50s picked up on. But he could have been very obscure, but what made him much more famous was when people like the Allman Brothers, the Allman Brothers did Trouble No More. He did I Just Want to Make Love to You, and that, Foghat did that song. But there was all kinds of Muddy Waters around. So it was to Muddy Waters' advantage when he was alive to have all those young, I guess, white bands, really, frankly, play his music. And, he was an old man, but he ended up being one of the most famous blues musicians in the world. He was in The Last Waltz. He did a tour with Clapton, and wherever he played just as a solo artist, I'm sure was 10 times more popular with audiences because his music had become so popular. One of the reasons for that is because a new generation took his music. You know, a lot of that old music, it's kind of like the Beatles today, as great as it is. It was recorded in the 60s. It's of its time, at least in the sense of the technology of the day and the sort of the limitations of the day. And when you fix it like that, it becomes this kind of fossil museum piece after a while. And that could have happened to Muddy Waters, but he had all these younger bands take his music and they brought a freshness and a life to it. And Muddy Waters ended up being one of the most famous musicians in the country, and I think that's great. Anyway, I don't know what I'm trying to say, except that I'm going to play covers. And I've thought about it, and I think, in some ways that's kind of an obvious, mundane thing to say, but in another way, it's kind of a profound conviction I've developed recently is how can you play music if you can't play songs? I've got drawers full of songs. When my mom died, we threw out all kinds of sheet music, and some of it might have been worth some money. I don't know, but people always say that. But we're not just consumers of music. Sometimes I think they just want to just be consumers of music. They don't actually want people to play music anymore. Just listen to it, watch it. Well, the problem with that is pretty soon there won't be enough people around to play it, and the people who can appreciate it will also kind of go away, to really appreciate it. I don't know. Anyway, I guess we could go on and on, but I just wanted to say I'm going to play here from time to time, other people's songs. I'm not going to sing them or anything, but I don't know what'll happen, but it's a little experiment. But I have to. I can't. You can only go so far with backing tracks and jams and sort of all that kind of stuff. At some points, you have to play songs. I've got my own songs too, but I love all the songs I grew up with, and I guess I feel like I should be able to play those songs. They're part of my history, and that's my view. Hats off to the people that wrote them. Full credit and rewards, financial and otherwise, are due to the people that wrote them. But those are songs we all grew up with, and we have to be able to play those things. And don't listen to lawyers. Whatever you fucking do, don't listen to a lawyer ever. That they'll tell you one thing one day, and then the next day it's all, it's an adversarial system. And just don't even listen to them. Just don't. Stay far, avoid all contact, and you'll be a lot better off, people. God bless you, and let's hope for some good music in 2022. Thank you.